Hello, my lovely lilies, and today's Father's Day. Today is a special day to where we can hug our dads and tell them how much we love them if we haven't been able to express it throughout the year. For me, my dad passed away 6 years ago, so this time of the year is a little rough and a little hard for me. But I don't want any Father's Day to go by without me being able to express how much I love my father. He was a wonderful man, and I miss him every day. So do me a favor, my lovely lilies. Hug your dads close. Tell them how much you love them, because you never know when this might be the last time you'll get to say it. Happy Father's Day, and thank you very much. My father gave me the greatest gift anyone could give another person. He believed in me. Jim Belvano. When I was a little girl, I remember when my dad would do things, he would let me help. He had little tools and a workbench just for me. I always felt so proud to help him. When I was little, my dad was a man of few words. I never seen him drink or swear. He never had a night out with the boys. In fact, I always heard him say he rushed home to be with me and my mom. He was proud to be a husband and a father. My father did 4 tours in Vietnam. This left him damaged, but he never talked about it. He never let it show. As I got older, my parents got involved in church. This filled my dad with a light that took any hurt from war away. He was so happy. He talked non-stop now. I must say, me and my dad have always been super close, but when I hit teenage years, it strained our relationship. But my dad kept trying to be there for me, no matter what. My dad retired just as I was graduating from high school. This changed things in so many ways. We got to hang out and talk like when I was a child. I took a second shift job at a hotel, which left me some let's not meet stories for another time. One of the things I remember the most about that job is he would come 45 minutes before I got off of work and just sit and talk to me. I wonder if he knew how much that meant to me. Flash forward past failed relationships and heartache, I got married. I remember that day so well. I remember the wedding started and everyone had to leave. I looked up to see a proud dad with love and affection coming from him. I remember saying, "Don't leave me, Daddy." And he replied, "I will never leave you ever." Flash forward 3 years, and I found out I was expecting my first child. My dad was a proud papa for the very first time. That August, my dad had a spell. I knew I might lose him, but somehow he came through. He came home and was fine. We celebrated my birthday on August 16th. The first week in September, we found out my first child was a girl. We had a 4D ultrasound, to which my dad cried. I never seen my dad cry. And he said she looked just like me, and that he was getting his baby back. The next day, my dad called me and asked if I wanted to come over and just chat. So, of course, I dropped everything I was doing and came over. We talked for hours. He told me he never thought he'd be a father, never see me grow up, never see me get married, let alone see being a papa for the first time. Due to his age, that is. He told me how proud he was of me, how I grew up to be a strong, loving woman that could do anything. My grandpa, my dad's dad, died before I was born. And my dad thought he was the best man, father, and everything in the world. For some reason that day, I felt I needed to tell him something. "Hey, Dad, you know the way you feel about your dad?" "Yeah." "Well, that's how I feel about you, only more." My dad teared up and told me he was so thankful I had told him that. The day rocked on, and I needed to go home. My dad stopped and he said something I will probably never forget. He said, "You know, when I was your age, my dad told me something that I didn't quite understand until now. When you get to be my age, you will have seen too much. Things will have changed too much. You'll want to go on and pass away, but you don't want to leave the people behind." I always thought that was kind of strange my dad said that. A week later, my dad passed away. I won't go into details because it hurts far too much for me to talk about. But he passed away from a massive heart attack. My dad was very healthy. He was healthier than me. So for him to die of a massive heart attack shocked us all. One thing that stands out was my dad's funeral. Our preacher was reading over my dad, and he said that my dad thought life was wonderful and complete when he married my mom. But that was until that they had me. He was a proud father, and everyone knew that he loved his daughter and would do anything for her. I now think about all those missed times to have a talk with my dad. All the times I was too busy for him. Now, it is my father who doesn't have time for me. I realize how there was so much more to learn from him, and about him. After he passed away, I have learned much more about him, and even more about myself. All he ever wanted was my love and time. And now, he has all my attention, every day. I love you, Daddy. Happy Father's Day to my dad, and Happy Father's Day to everyone. Thank you and have a good day.
Bye.